What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of 5 Questions with the Beast. I'm your host, Will the Beast, and today we're sitting down with everyone's favorite IFBB pro, Seth Feroce. I cannot believe that I had the chance and opportunity to interview Seth Feroce. First, I just want to give a big thank you to Fuad Abiyad for setting me up with Seth. Without him, none of this would ever happen. I think during this interview, I was on the verge of tears 3 times, and that was absolutely crazy. I hope you all enjoy this video, but before we get into it, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of our upcoming content. Now, I can't believe that I'm actually going to be doing this, but Dad, hit the music. I just gotta say that I absolutely love the Deadlifts and Gummy Bear sweatshirt. I think it's really comfortable, and I love wearing this thing to the gym and crushing some weights training. And I just gotta say, hats off to you for making this.
Thank you, thank you. That is the Deadlifts and Gummy Bears saying is our #1 seller on every item that we have.
Nice.
It is crazy what it's become, but yeah, I just like deadlifts and gummy bears. That was always my thing, and then Bob, the one day, my business partner, he came up with a design for it. He's like, "We're gonna put this on a shirt," and I was like, "Yeah, like let's go with it." And it's wild how it has taken storm, and it's our #1 selling shirt. It's wild.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely awesome. But on the other hand, I got the Deadlifts and Gummy Bear shirt right here.
Yep.
And this shirt almost got me suspended at school.
For what?
The R looks like a gun.
Yep. Happened a time or two. I know we've heard that from I don't know.
Like this big.
I'm being very polite right now, but everybody's a little soft. It's okay. I mean, I understand why people can get upset about a gun, but there's a lot of things that I could get upset about personally, and I just kind of continue to live my life without worrying about it. But each your own.
Now, one of my good friends' name is Sammy, and she works with Dana Lynn Bailey, and she's like a model for her. And I got curious to see what Dana was like back when she was first starting. So I went back like now almost 9 years ago on her YouTube channel, and I came across this special picture right here. Look at that clean shaved fellow right there.
He's a handsome man.
Yeah, and I noticed that you were wearing a Ferocious shirt, so I wanted to see if you recognize this worn out old thing right here.
Where did you get that?
This was my dad's first ever shirt when he started watching you almost 5 years ago.
Man. Oh, dude. I have 2 of those shirts. One of those black and gray ones, and then one of the black on orange, and they're in storage. Man, that's awesome. That gave me a little bit of goosebumps.
I just thought you would like to take that stroll down memory lane.
Yeah, that feels good. I knew Dana and Rob from whenever they were at Isolator Fitness. Those 2 started Isolator Fitness with Dave Vollmer, and then I met them at a show in Maryland, and then I got involved, and for about 5 to 6 months, we were all together all the time. So I knew them for that short period of time, and then that company kind of just pittered away, and relationships kind of just fell apart. And that was, like you said, 10 years ago. And they went on to do Flag Nor Fail and just pave a path for how many things are done in this industry today. Good people.
Yeah, I was looking back at her videos, and she was quite the rock star back then. Like all her workout videos, she had like heavy metal playing. It was pretty cool.
She has been an animal since day one. And Rob is that actually, he's the one who helped design that Ferocious shirt. He's the one that did the font for me, and yeah, man, I can't believe your dad has one of those shirts. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, Seth, you ready to get in the interview?
Whenever you are, man, absolutely.
All right, let's do this. All right, what's up, everyone? We're here, 5 questions with the Beast, and we're here sitting down with everyone's favorite IFBB pro, Seth Feroce.
What's happening? Thanks for having me. I'm pumped.
I'm really excited, and I can't believe I'm actually sitting here talking with you here today. So, Seth, I'm coming right out of the gate. What's going on with you and Fuad Abiyad? I heard the two of you might be getting in the squared circle. You want to tell me about this?
No. Absolutely not. I am not fighting Fuad. I talked to him last weekend, and there's an event. I think it was in Tennessee, and he was talking about. He's like, "Me and you should go at it." I'm like, "Fuad, I'm not fighting you. It's not going to happen. I don't want to hurt you."
You think you'll embarrass him?
For sure. My cardio is way better than his. I can run from him for at least 5 minutes. And then after he tires out, I'll just beat him up.
Sounds like a good plan.
It's exactly how it would go.
Yeah. He said he thinks you're full of rage, and he says if you get in the squared circle, you would just unleash hell on Fuad.
I absolutely would. I probably wouldn't box him. I'd probably tackle him and then maybe bite his cheek off or rip a kidney out, something like that.
Awesome.
Yep. No, we were talking about it, and I'm like, no. I was like, I can't do it. I'm not. I haven't done anything like that. I haven't done any fighting since college, so well over 10 years. I'm good.
Oh. Well, Seth, I just want to say that you're the guy. You're the person that we've been watching for a long time now. I'm 15 years old, and I've been watching you since I was 10. And you're the guy that got my dad out of his depression and start getting after it, going to the gym, and just getting better. You're the guy that motivates me to go out, stay humble, tell the truth, and just get after it and work as hard as I can. And I can't believe that I'm having you on here. It's a total pleasure. You're a person I look up to. So I just want to get started and say that I was watching one of your old videos from a very long time ago, and you were talking about how ever since you're 15 years old, you want to be a pro bodybuilder all the way until life kicked you in the Johnson and knocked you off track. So, Seth, can you tell me about where you started in your career and what it was like during that time?
So I was, whenever I was about 12, 13 years old, I was quite chubby. I was the chubby kid. I did not look good naked. Like I always tell everybody now, like look good naked, like work hard. Whenever I was 12 years old, I didn't look very good. I was out of shape. I just didn't watch what I ate. I ate everything, and I was fat. And there's nothing wrong with that except the fact that my self-esteem was not high. I didn't think very highly of myself. My friends at the time were much older than me, 3 to 5 years older. So I hung out with the older kids in the neighborhood, and we all had nicknames. My nickname was Chubbs. I didn't like it. So whenever I was 12, 13 years old, hanging out with the older kids, and everybody called me Chubbs, which I was very insecure about, and my self-esteem was incredibly low. So at that point, that is whenever I just said, I have to change. I want to look good. I don't want to be called Chubbs anymore. Even though, it wasn't really a derogatory term. We all had nicknames for each other. I just didn't like mine at all. It hurt me. And at nighttime, I'd lay in my bed and I'd get upset. There's nights that I'd cry. I'd just be like, I don't want to be Chubbs. So the only way that I knew to change it was to do the work. I was flicking through the channels one day, watching TV, and I saw Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was carrying this big log on his shoulder, had a tank top on, was all big and jacked, looking awesome. And I'm like, man, it's like, I want to look like that. So I started with saying, I'm not going to eat bad food anymore. And I hate being Chubbs, and I'm going to do push-ups and sit-ups until it disappears, meaning like my boobs and my belly. And right there is whenever I just started doing push-ups and sit-ups every night before my shower as a 13-year-old kid. And I was going through puberty at the time, so testosterone started flaring up, and I started having anger problems, just getting pissed off at everything. And then I did more push-ups, and I did more sit-ups, and I got to the point where I started changing how I looked. And my dad said, "I'm going to bring home some old weights for you." And at that point, I'm like, yeah, like I want to lift weights. And he had a huge influence on me of just doing curls and bench press. And then I said I wanted to play football because I was going to a Catholic school and I was in eighth grade at the time, and I started putting on muscle. And then I wanted to play football when I went to high school and public school, and I knew nobody. I went from a small Catholic school to a large public school, and I went and I was just the new kid at 13 at 14 years old. I was the new kid, and I just played football, and I turned out to be pretty good at it because I was just madder than hell. Anything that was in front of me, I was hitting. And then it was fun. I played football and wrestled, but after wrestling season, I just wanted to lift weights. My dad took me to a gym, and I was like, "This is the coolest place on the planet." They have everything that you see in the magazines. They have cables. They have rows. They have big barbells. I was pumped. And, I'm, 15, 14, 15-year-old kid at the time, just excited because I've never seen these things in real life. And at that time, the gym was a bodybuilding gym. And I just said, I want to do this. And once something gets in my head, I'm going to do it. And at that point, I lived like a bodybuilder, ate like a bodybuilder, just trained like a bodybuilder. You name it, I did it from the time I was probably about 16 until 24. And a whole lot of crazy things happened in between that time. But the one moment that I'll never forget was I was working at that gym. It was York's gym at the time. I was working at the gym, and I was sitting behind the desk. I was doing homework, and I had magazines there that I was reading. Flex magazine, Muscular Development, and a gentleman was there that was, excuse me, that I looked up to like crazy. PJ Keurig, jacked, awesome. He had killer abs. He dressed like one of the dudes from the '80s. He always wore a hoodie that was like cut in half, stupid ripped, like 6'4" monster. And I always looked up to him, and he looked at me, and he's like, "Hey," I was about 17, and he's like, "You want to be a pro bodybuilder, don't you?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm going to be a pro bodybuilder." And he's like, "I can believe that." And I'll never forget it because that was a moment for me that I look back on, and I'm like, yeah, that was when somebody recognized that I respected, recognized that I was willing to do the work, and I was a little crazy. But yeah.
Well, I was like the complete opposite when I was younger. I was super, super skinny. I had like this eating problem where I couldn't eat anything. There were times where I only ate once a day. Like it was that bad. So I really had to fix it. When I was 10, I joined the wrestling team, and I liked it, and I liked going through all of that. But like I was just burning through calories, and I realized that I had to start eating in order to put on size and not just be the skinny, bony kid that's just there, where you can see like his ribs through the shirt. And I just wanted to change. So it was a sucky process, but I had to like suck it up and just start eating more every day. And by now, I like overcame that about a year ago, and I'm eating better now. I'm having like 6 meals a day and like shakes in there and just eating, getting bigger. But when I did wrestling, I wanted to just start lifting weights. So I went to the gym for the first time, and it was a kind of a crappy gym. It was a small area, but I was like, this place is really cool. I know there was a couple squat racks, and there was a couple dumbbells, and I was just like, this place is awesome. And I just started lifting weights. After about a year at that place, I went to the gym I'm at now, which is called Lightning Fitness here in Connecticut. And I just fell in love with that place. They had everything known to like man. They had half squats, cables, and everything, and I just loved it. So I chose lifting weights over wrestling, and I just want to go from there. I just want to see where I go from here. I'm trying to get on stage one day. I don't care how big of a stage, just want to get on stage one day, just accomplish that goal. But right
Absolutely.
now, my main priority is accomplishing the whole food thing.
For sure. For me it was step by step goal. I speak in such general terms about everything that occurred over that time, from the time of me being Chubs all the way up into when I was 25 years old and I turned pro. That was it's a 10 to 12-year window when all that stuff occurred. So and for you, you're 15 years old. That's whenever I really got started with it all. So, whenever I see someone like yourself and you have these goals and aspirations, it's some of the most inspiring stuff as a father, because I have kids and I look at you. My daughter's 2 years younger than you are, and that is some of the greatest things, because to have a goal that is to have a goal that's bigger than most people think is very difficult to conceptualize in your head.
Yeah.
And people think that you're a little crazy or it's stupid or it's weird or this or that. But at the end of the day, it's your life, and it's something that is going to bring way crazier things in your life out. Because if I never would have did the things that I did, I wouldn't be in this position I am. And I like where I'm at right now. And I did a lot of things that people said were dumb. And I did a lot of things that people said were stupid and I shouldn't do it, and got a little bit made fun of for it. Got my balls busted quite a bit. But all those things are why I'm in the position I am today. And I really like where I'm at.
I started this YouTube channel, and just like you said, everyone's like, "This is a stupid thing that you're doing. Why are you even trying to do this? You're not gonna go anywhere from there." And a couple years ago, ever since I was 10 years old, I was trained to be like a power lifter. And when I was 13, I weighed 84 pounds, which is very, very small. And I
Yes.
got picked on a lot for being so skinny. And I was going for the American record at the time for the deadlift, and no one believed in me. No one thought I had it in me. So I went to the competition, and I was like, it's time to just prove these people wrong. So I broke the American deadlift record when I was 13, 84 pounds, and I deadlifted 225. And I had that record I always carried that record with me just to show people that I proved them wrong.
So there's a thing I'll tell you right now. I'm 36, and I've accomplished quite many things. However, even now today, I have my supplement company, my apparel company. I have two businesses locally here. Um, there's still people that don't like me, and there's still people that doubt me, and still people that talk a whole lot of shit on me. And you're talking to me, so you've watched all my videos, and I'm gonna say it. Fuck them all.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. The thing is, there's always going to be people that dislike you, or there's always going to be people that are say you're stupid or anything like it. Um, Me, I kind of I see it all. I listen, but at the end of the day, I just sit there and go, man, like I'm trying to do something cool with my life. I'm trying to do something great. I want to do something that I can look back on as an experience and remember the memory. Because I love living. I love like going and doing something cool and just like feeling the experience. So for people that talk shit or want you to fail or say it's stupid, at least you're living, you're feeling it. And I can tell you, the second that you have success, you're going to want more.
Yeah.
And that's a driving force that I have within everything that I do is I just want more. I love it. It makes me feel alive.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute, like the drive that you have. But I want to move on to another topic, and it was from this is topic was from a video quite a while back. It was like your fourth or fifth video. You were sitting on your in your dad's workshop on the table, and you did not have your forearm tattoo yet.
Oh, okay,
So
it's an old one.
yeah, and you were talking about the word try, and I don't remember. I do you remember that?
Yep, yep, very well.
So I think that the word try is a word that should be taken out of every single person's vocabulary. And I saw this when I first started watching you, and it just stuck with me. Now, for the people that may not know who you are and haven't heard you talk about the word try, do you mind elaborating on it?
So, you know, throughout all the videos that you have that are on YouTube of me, the early on, um, so I have made probably every mistake that a grown man can make. Made a lot. I've done a lot of crazy things in my life. But the only thing that I know to be true and to just be always dead set on is just doing the work, doing it. Whenever you use the word try, like I'm gonna try and do it. Well, don't just try and do it, you fucking do it. Because if you just try and do it, you're gonna leave room for failure. You're gonna leave it open for you to say, I don't like it. And for me, that's not an option. For me, the word try is something that it needs to be, like you said, it needs to be removed from everybody's vocabulary, especially in a time of like dire need, whenever you have to succeed. Whenever you have to succeed, if you say, yeah, we'll try it. Okay, well, you're just giving yourself a little bit of a taste of it. No, go do it. If you do it, you're going to get something out of it. If you give everything you have, if you put 100% of yourself into something, you're going to receive that back. And whenever you receive it back, even if it is bad, it's still an experience. And then you learn from it. You know, because many people that I've met over the course of my life, a lot of people that I had a lot of respect for as a young man. Whenever I found out the type of people they were, I just found out that they just tried everything rather than fucking do it. And what I took away from that was the fact that if I just do the work every time, as hard as I can, as far as I can, I will get something out of it. I didn't try it, I did it. Like I didn't try bodybuilding. I was a bodybuilder. I did it. And then some things worked for me, some things didn't work for me. And it's the experience that counts. So for me, whenever people are I think that if, like you said, if they remove try and just put the word do on everything, many things will change in their life.
Yeah, like I said, how it always stuck with me. I took it when I was doing like the powerlifting. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna set records and I'm gonna break records. I just wanted to do it, not try it, like you
Mm-hmm.
said. And it's same for bodybuilding. And I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm not gonna try it. So it's really something that stuck with me.
And
Yeah,
and where I elaborate on the more things in life and why I have a connection with, many different people, from your age all the way up to men older than myself and women included, is because many of the concepts that I have about everything is it incurs in everything, every different demographic in life, whether you're a male or a female, young or old. It applies to your relationships, it applies to schoolwork, it applies to your career, it applies to weightlifting. If you just do the work and stop bitching and crying about it, crazy things can occur. But whenever I just, I tried, I tried being a good dad. No, don't try it. Do it. Whenever it's time to spend time with your significant other, whenever it's time to do your schoolwork or it's time to do your job, you do it. You don't try and do it, you do it. So
yeah,
those are things that I believe that so many people in life can pull from because, bro, I'm not that smart of a guy. Yet I've achieved the most incredible things that some people in this industry have never achieved. And it's all because of my work ethic.
yeah. So definitely, people need to stop saying the word try and just start doing it. But
Absolutely.
the next thing I want to discuss with you is the tunnel vision mindset. Now, I know that your daughters have the tunnel vision mindset with gymnastics, and I can relate to having that mindset going to the gym to train and doing these podcasts. My question to you is, how do I keep this mindset and not get distracted doing something stupid when my popularity grows and that sort of thing?
Oh man, you're definitely gonna do dumb shit. You're definitely gonna do it's gonna be great too. You gotta live. Nah, tunnel vision is a good thing, but one thing for me, I've I'm a very ambitious person. I want to accomplish great things, and I don't force my kids to do anything. I encourage them to do the things that they love. And whenever you do something that you love, I want to see your greatest. I want to see you do cool shit. And one of the scary things, because you see a lot of people do it, is like you said, they kind of get distracted. That's not a bad thing at times. It's a bad thing whenever you get into like bad things such as drugs and alcohol and the wrong type of woman. But it's not a bad thing because you still got to live your life. You still got to go experience things. You still got to feel different things in life. And that's one thing that I tell myself that I have to do it. I got to live more. I need to go do more fun stuff. I need to go do more extravagant things because I am so tunnel vision that sometimes I don't take time to do cool shit. And I've been distracted. I've pulled away from my family. I pulled away from my siblings. Previous years ago in my life, 10 years ago, my life was much different than it is now, and I did do dumb shit. I did get distracted in a negative way and do things that I shouldn't have did. And I do look at that and I'm like, man, I don't like what I did, but the what I pull away from it is I'm not going to do that shit again. But at the same time, there's many things that I did that were completely over the top and spontaneous and turned out to be the greatest things I could have did. I've met some incredible people living like that. So at your age, being 15 and doing cool shit, you're gonna do really dumb stuff, and it might work out. And you're gonna do really dumb stuff, and people are gonna be like, "You're an idiot, you dumb SOB," and you're gonna be like, huh, "I know, I shouldn't have did that. I definitely know I screwed up."
Yeah.
And I say that in a lot of my videos because I know I screwed up. But nobody's perfect. Whenever you're on this podcast like yourself, you're sitting there in front of the camera, and myself, that I do on social media, my podcast, my businesses, everything, you put yourself out there. That's something that 95% of the world doesn't want to do. And it puts you up for scrutiny. It puts you up for people to make fun of you. It puts you up for people to pick out that, like, my nose is half the size of my face. I got tiny little ears. I look like a troll with the beard. People will pick out anything they can to bust my balls. And I'm like, yeah, but I like this. I'm having fun. I'm living, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. And there's a lot of really good people out there, and especially in my life now, that like who I am. And I'm a good person at heart, so I'm not going to let them people beat me down.
Yeah.
I know I look like a troll. So what?
When I started this YouTube channel, I thought it was like a stupid idea. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so stupid. Why am I doing this?" Because like the first ever video we put out, we were just joking around and doing stupid stuff. We were just like doing skits or whatever, and not even like just taking it seriously. We're just doing crap. But this led to something incredible. Doing podcasts and sitting down with people I look up to. It's just definitely
Absolutely.
changed my life.
Absolutely. And that's what it's supposed to do. And along the way, you're going to meet really great people. And then you're going to meet a couple people that are really big dickheads. And you're going to be like, man, I don't want to be like that guy again.
Yeah.
So it's great. I think it's how you're supposed to do things. And I love it.
When I was on Fuad's podcast, one of the topics we were talking about was setting small goals that lead up to one big goal. What do you think about that? Like setting small goals to achieve one giant goal?
Absolutely. So there's one thing that I keep saying that there's one thing with this. There's a guy I always like pulling as much good as I can from people, and uh, if you can complete small tasks every day in your life and continue to dream and continue to conceptualize more and more ideas, all those small little things that you do out throughout the day, all those small little accomplishments add up to bigger things. Because if the feeling of accomplishment, in my opinion, is something that it's better than any high of any drug. And I've done a lot of drugs. That's part of the mistakes I made. So the feelings of accomplishment are better than anything I've ever done because it built my self-esteem and it built my self-confidence and it helped me to think a certain way that nothing else ever has. So whenever I sit here and talk about like my companies, like I didn't know how to really build a company other than just work really hard and don't spend all my money on dumb shit. And It was all the little things that we did every single day to stay true to who we were, like just small little accomplishments. Let's sell $1,000 a day of supplements and see what happens. Let's sell $5,000 a day. Let's sell $10,000 a day. Sell $15,000 a day, 20, 30. And all of a sudden it turns into a company that I'm like, oh my God, this is actually happening right now. And at that point, it was just because over these years of doing all these small little tasks every day, having a routine, being consistent with positive things, and it turned into something great. Um, so I fully believe that small goals set you up to start thinking big. The small little goals that you have and accomplishing them are why you're like, let's go bigger. Maybe I didn't dream big enough. And I'm certainly guilty of that, of not dreaming big enough at times. Me at 15, 16 years old wanting to be a pro bodybuilder, like that's a tall order. And then I go and accomplish it. And then after that, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Like I didn't dream of being Mr. Olympia. I just dreamt of being a pro. Maybe I should have dreamt bigger. And that really screwed with my head. And right now with the companies, I was in the same spot about 3 months ago. I just dreamed of having a company that was super successful and I made good money. Well, within 2.5 years, I exceeded every financial goal I ever thought I was going to accomplish in my life. So I had to have bigger dreams and bigger goals. And I literally, like we're talking about now, reverse engineered it and went back to just the small little goals and saying, I want that one. And the goal that I have right now it's a very big goal, but I think I'm going to accomplish it.
I've learned from you and Fuad that you should just like have one like goal that you think is unachievable that you may not think you'll ever get, just so that you can just keep chasing it. And that's what I kind of have right now. Like I'm trying to like make small goals right now. Like my small goal, the goal I'm trying to achieve right now is fully like overcoming my eating problem and just be totally fine with that. Then
Mhm.
after that, I want to like get ready to compete on a small stage, like a maybe like a state or whatever, like a small
Mhm.
competition, no matter how big it is, then win a small competition. And then just one day, like my big goal right now is just like the unrealistic goal that I may never achieve, but like I'm just chasing to one day getting on the Arnold or the Olympia. But I
Yeah,
think one of the mistakes a lot of people make are just saying I'm gonna win the Mr. Olympia and not set small goals along the way.
absolutely. Uh, it's, what I've realized over these years is everybody has a different way of thinking, but the sense of accomplishment is the most important thing. And that's where these small little goals come from and making sure that you still are having dreams. Like I'm a huge daydreamer. I love thinking about cool shit. Like every day, like I daydream about cool trucks. And I'm like, then I stop myself halfway through the day and I'm like, Seth, you're an adult. Stop being stupid. And I'm like, trucks are cool. But I think it's important for people to have those kind of thoughts and dreams and aspirations and never lose sight of doing cool shit. I think it's super important, but also doing things that challenge you. Like life isn't easy. It's not easy at all. It's super tough.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's something that people have to shoot for, is doing something extravagant.
Yeah. Life really kicked us in the face when, like early on or a couple years ago, my mom had a stroke and it was very serious, and we weren't sure if she was ever going to recover from it. And she's fine. She's all recovered now, but it was a big scare at that time. And when that happened, my dad went into a big depression for a while, and it was just not a good time at all. Sorry if I get emotional. I don't like
No, you're
talking about
good,
this,
dude.
but like it was just such a scary time, and we found you, and you really changed our lives. So I just want to say thank you for that. It just means the
Absolutely.
world to me.
It's one of the reasons that it's one of the reasons I am the way I am and how open I am with everything that's occurred in my life. Um, I'm open with it all because life can be ugly. And for as much as we talk, like I've been saying about doing cool shit and having fun and dreams, there's going to be times whenever life just punches you right in the face, you drop to your knees, and then it kicks you right in the ass. And then you fall on your face. Then you're like, my God, can anything else happen? And then a dog starts pissing on you. You're like, man, life is really tough right now. And I've had experiences like that myself with, my previous marriage was not a good one. Her and I, we didn't get along, and she went down the wrong path and fell into had a bad drug habit, and it affected my kids horribly. Um, and at that point, I had to just become super dad. She was no longer around, and I had to take care of two little girls that needed me to be the best son of a bitch I could be. And at that time, like, it's tough. Like, I was in my head every night going through just wild, crazy thoughts about who I was and what I was doing wrong and what I could do better. There's times whenever you just have these crazy depressive nights, and you're just beating yourself up about everything, when in all reality, you're like, okay, I got to pull myself together because I have two beautiful girls in the other room that are healthy, that do have somebody like myself that's strong, and I'm able-bodied. I don't have anything wrong with myself. I am the healthy one. And I had to pull myself together every single night to wake up the next morning and be the best dad I could be for my kids, and also still make money and provide. Those are real things in life that many, many people go through, that not a lot of people like talking about, because it is emotional, it is scary, and it's tough because these bad things that people don't like talking about, um, they can they're it hurts inside. And I became this I became a little bit of a different person through that time, because I don't want bad shit in other people's lives. Whenever I see bad things happen in other people's lives and people ask me for advice, and I tell them, you're going to go through wild feelings. You need to be the hero of a movie. You need to be the baddest motherfucker on the planet right now, because there's people that rely on you. You need to be the greatest person you could imagine yourself ever being. Be that person. And I say that because I like your dad going through that depressive state. I was in the same boat. At nighttime, just laying there by myself. That's not any fun. My kids and my wife at the time, she was going through things that weren't good and doing things that I wish never happened. And it's tough. But that was how life goes. I couldn't change it. I could just do better. I had to be the best person I could ever be. And it was a turning point in my life.
Yeah. All those things that happened to me, that's what drives me to go out and make my parents proud and go out and just achieve things that I never thought I would do, just to show them that I can do this.
Fucking A right, dude. You want to be the best person you could be, the baddest SOB on the planet. That's the goal. And that's, bro, I still wake up and say that to myself every day. I talk to myself in the mirror. I do all these weird little things, the quirks that I have. But all those things that I do, make me who I am, and I like it. I'm having fun.
Just going off script a little bit, you're talking about doing weird, quirky stuff. I saw your ranting and raving from a while ago, your dad edition. Oh.
They took that down for a minute. Right?
Really?
YouTube took that off. Yeah. YouTube doesn't like me too much. Yeah, that yeah. Bro, like I said, I pull as much as I can from as many people as I meet. I pull all the good from as many people as I meet, even if they're half an asshole and half a good person. I'll take the good person part of them and apply it to my life in some way. And I laugh because, like, everybody knows that, like, dad moves. Everybody knows a dad move, really corny ass jokes, New Balance or Air Monarch Nike shoes, the tucked in polo shirts. Yeah.
So, going off something from that video, what's worse than having diarrhea?
Trying to spell it.
So, moving on, this next question is something that I've been wanting to ask for a while now, but now that I have the chance, I want to ask it. Right now, I feel like I'm very humbled. I don't have a big ego and I respect everyone. Now, the thing that I want to know is how do you stay humble when popularity grows and everyone starts to know your name so you don't come off like a jerk or an arrogant person?
So, few things. My mom and dad are tremendous people. They're they're the fabric of a community here. My parents have owned their business for 43 years. That's a long time. Like that's insane. So everybody in the community knows them. I always wanted to make my parents proud, even though I have a very foul mouth. I'm a little bit of a loose cannon, but I have respect for everybody that works hard in life. As long as you work hard, I won't. I don't have anything bad to say about you, even if you are an ass. But my mom told me when I was young that and she knew I started getting like this and getting into bodybuilding and I was pretty good at it. And she always told me, she's like, if you ever get a big head, I'm gonna take your ass out. My mom's the sweetest lady on the planet. So for her to say something like that to me, I'm like, what makes you think that I become that type of person? And she's like, because a lot of people do, and you're not gonna be an arrogant asshole. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. But that's one thing. And then uh, growing up and loving bodybuilding, like, dude, I am still huge bodybuilding fan. Huge. I knew everybody back in the early 2000s. That's all I did was watch bodybuilding shows, bought every magazine. So went to every show. I was going to the Arnold Classic since 2000. So yeah, I think it was '01 was my first Arnold Classic. So, and I've gone to every single one up until last year whenever they didn't have it. So I've gone and I've seen all these different athletes and guys I looked up to. And then whenever I met them as a fan before I was this person, um, sometimes it was a letdown. Like they might have been having a bad day, but whenever I met a couple guys and I really wasn't like, they weren't excited to meet me. And I kind of just had this personal letdown inside. And I'm like, man, I really like him. Like, I wish he was like more enthusiastic, like I thought he would be. And that might just not be his personality. But back then I was like, man, if I ever get the chance to do this, like, I want to make sure people feel me.
Yeah.
I want people to be excited. And then I think it was 2003, I was at the Mr. Pittsburgh, which here in Pittsburgh, the Mr. Pittsburgh is a massive bodybuilding show. They bring in like 10 different guest posers. In the one year, Gunter Schrillkamp came in, and Gunter was a huge deal at the time, big, massive German dude. And he's there at the expo. It's a small little expo spot. And he is just getting everybody riled up and excited. And he's just huge. He's like 6'2", 6'3", massive guy. He started picking kids up, like people that had their kids with him. He just started picking them up by their arms and then grabbing them by their legs and flipping them upside down. He's holding kids in the air, taking pictures, holding everybody, putting kids on his shoulders. And I'm like, this dude's awesome. Like, look what he's doing. Everybody was having fun. It was exciting. And at that point, that's whenever I said, I was like, that guy's just having a good time. Like, he doesn't give a shit about anything. He's just enjoying himself. And I was like, that's what you need to do whenever you get into that type of position. And I said, whenever I do get the chance to do this, what I'm doing now, I want to make sure people have a good time when they meet me. And my personality, I'm outgoing, I'm foul mouthed, I'll say anything in the world. I'll 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 go out and have a good time and just want people to enjoy and laugh and feel good for the moment that they get the chance to hang out. And that's whenever I go to expos, I'm off the wall. I say some pretty crazy stuff, and I in the YouTube videos, people relate to them. They're like, that's what I wanted to make sure people have is they feel who I actually am as a person, my personality, even if it is a little off the wall and screwed up. But that those are the experiences that I had that made me like, I don't want to be arrogant. I just want to be me.
Yeah.
I even if you do accomplish great things in the world, people know that what I've accomplished. I don't need to tell them everything. They know, and I'm proud of them. But I want to do more cool shit, you
Yeah.
know. And but at the same time, if your personality says that I want to have, a crazy fancy car and, whatever, then I'm all for it, man. If that's what you want to do, absolutely. But just make sure that you don't treat people like shit.
Yeah. Going back to when you were talking about how your parents said that you want to stay humbled, that's how my parents are. Like after every interview that I do, and I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to become something. They're like, you better not freaking do anything stupid, and like, you
You
better
know,
respect everyone. I'm like, okay.
you have to, and that's what parents are supposed to do. That you have to, and it's good to be excited, but it's also to just stay humble, just be appreciative of the things that are occurring in your life and live for it, man. It's good.
Yeah.
Good. It's like
And
the first time I got biceps, I was like, yeah, this is cool as fuck. Look at these arms. And my dad's like, they're not that big, to calm down.
yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
how I
oh,
feel.
cool. Sounds good.
Now, when you were talking about people that you look up to, and you're like, "Oh, I can't wait to talk to them," and then they're not like excited to see you. But this might blow your mind. Before I was into fitness, I was a huge golfer,
Nice.
and I went to a tournament in Massachusetts, and Tiger Woods was there, and I was like, "Tiger, can I have a fist bump?" And he didn't even look at me. He just kept walking, and I'm like, "Cool." But there was this one golfer there that every year he remembered who I was. His name was Luke Donald, and I would always follow him like on the golf course. We would walk. He would always talk to me, and he was just like awesome to me. And he remembered me year after year. And it was like the last time. It was like my last year of golfing because I wanted to try something new. I went there, and I was like, "Do you want to trade hats?" Because we've been talking at the golf course for like 3 or 4 years. So he took off his hat. I took off mine, and we switched. So I wonder if he still has it. But
No, it's good. I was saying previously, you know, people have bad days. Excuse me. I have them myself. Everybody, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Um, and especially like big time athletes, you know, even seeing like the bodybuilders that just weren't as enthusiastic as I thought they would be. It's not that I ever stopped liking them or anything like that. It was just that I said that I wanted to do things a little bit differently. But I also say I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, even like everybody has a bad day,
yeah.
you know. But yeah, it's awesome.
Now, continuing on the like staying humble. When I was talking to Fuad when I interviewed him, he's talking about how he felt deserving when he turned pro, and he felt like everyone should look up to him. What can you tell me if there was ever a time in your career where you felt like that?
I don't know if uh, no, one thing I'll be, a little vulnerable and transparent right now. Um, I will always have a little bit of a self esteem or a chip on my shoulder or a self esteem issue where it's like uh, I I'm just doing my own thing and I don't think I'm really anything special. I kind of just live in my own world. I I mean, I put out all the information that I do because I know I'm good at it. Like I know I'm very good at bodybuilding. I know that if I pushed myself, I would have been a much better bodybuilder than I was. Um, I know how good I am at what I'm doing right now, building my businesses. Um, and I put out information because if you want to learn, I'm willing to teach you. But I don't think everybody has to listen to me, or I don't think everybody should listen to me. I think that I just kind of do my own thing. I don't really get too tied up in thinking that, I mean, if you want to succeed, I put out a lot of good information that made me successful, and I'm just some silly podunk dude from Western PA. You know, I'm just like I'm a normal guy. I just do extraordinary things because of how hard I work. And along the way, I've learned a lot and paid attention to just about everything. And now that I look at everything that I'm accomplishing, I'm like, I'm cool. If you want to listen, I'm willing to tell you, but I'm not going to make you listen. I don't think No, I have arrogant moments in my head, but I just kick them out immediately because I just remind myself of how fortunate I am that I'm living the life that I do. And but rather than use the arrogance or that that negative connotation with it, I look at it and say that I'm going to outwork every motherfucker on the planet. That's how I look at it. Like, I mean, I have this is me, the HWMF, and that's how I look at it. Rather from there you go, dude. Rather from an arrogant standpoint, and think that everybody should listen to me, and you should bow down, and you should understand how great I am at this. I don't got to tell you about it. I'm just going to educate you that if you want to go toe to toe at me with something, then yeah, let's do it. I'm a competitive person, and me not doing being a competitive bodybuilder anymore, I transitioned it all into business, and I love business, and I love making money, and I love building, my community. We have one very large company. Two, we have a supplement store and the gymnastics that are doing absolutely phenomenal things and employing people in our community. We have well over 100 young gymnasts, young girls that come to our facility that are changing their lives, and that's what I like doing.
Yeah.
I don't have this arrogant thought. I have more of like I'm just going to outwork everybody that I can, and I'm going to.
Yeah. We come from very little, and if I ever get to be super well known, I never want to like look down to anybody. I want to treat everyone the same. I don't want to be like that jerk that's thinks he's higher than everybody.
No matter. Here's the thing: no matter how much good shit I do or how much good shit I say I'm going to do, there's always going to be at least one or a
Yeah.
handful of people that say, "You're an asshole." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I am an asshole, but I have a good heart. And there's times that if you got that side of me, you probably did something to aggravate me. And I probably said something that might have been a little off the wall, um, or you just don't agree with me, or just don't like the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's fine. No,
Yeah.
I don't get bent out of shape. I just do my own thing and keep working. I like to work a lot.
Moving on, with like wrestlers like Shawn Michaels, fans chant one more match. But I know you probably get hit up all the time being asked when you're coming back and that sort of thing. But you've been saying you're done for a while now, done competing and doing bodybuilding. And I know you're done doing bodybuilding and getting on stage. And with the new transformation video you just put out, it seems like you're setting it in stone, saying that you are retiring from bodybuilding and just want to become healthy, feel good, and look athletic. But what I do want to know, did Bob finally get in your head to make you do an Ironman?
No, no, I am not doing an Ironman. No way. No, me personally, the transformation that we're having, we have thousands of people in this transformation. It is insane. It's way bigger than it's 3 times bigger than what I thought it was going to be. There's that many people in this thing, and we wanted to do it because we made a lot of money last year, and we were like, and I said, I told everybody if we get to that point where we make that much money, I said we got to do something really cool and put a lot of money back into our community, and do a bunch of cool shit. And it just so happened that right now we're doing the transformation, and I need to do something drastic with my life, and I need to get away from my head, which was attached to steroids, and get myself healthy and just live a different lifestyle than I previously have. I've accomplished a lot of great things in bodybuilding. I had a lot of fun, and I lived the lifestyle. And it's not that I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop training. That's not going to happen. It's just going to be a different tempo and a different way, not moving the 160s for 25 on the incline press. Uh, it's going to I need to transition into something new, and lose a little bit of weight and just stay healthy for my family and the business. And along this time, I'm going to show everybody exactly what I do through the transformation on YouTube. And it's something that I never did personal vlogs, like filming myself walking around my house. My cardio room's right over there. I never did that. And that's what I'm going to do this transformation so people can see the whole change actually occur.
Yeah. Was this an easy or hard decision for you to make?
One of the most difficult decisions I've had to make in a long time. Like, this isn't easy for me. You know who you've watched all my videos, but I'll be transparent and just say it. Like, I've used steroids for 16 years. It's part of the industry. It was something that I did, and that's how it goes. It's not a secret anymore, and it's something that I don't regret doing. I fully understood what I was doing, but at the same time, now that I'm in this position that I am, and I do have the companies that I do, and I do have my family, and I grew a conscious, and I need to change everything that I've known of doing for the past 16 years of my life. For 16 years, I lived like a bodybuilder, and it's time for me to change the mindset. And every time I've tried to change previously, like years ago, like say a couple years ago or 6 months ago, I failed. So for me right now, this is a huge step, and it's going to have to be something that I actually stick with. So my mentality has to completely change.
As long as you're not going to do an Ironman and just keep lifting weights.
No, I'm never not going to lift weights. I just need to. I mean, I just trained today. I was training back, and I'm like, I will say this: one of my goals is to be 200 pounds and still deadlift over 600 pounds. So if I'm like 198, I still want to be able to pull big weight. I still want to. I love deadlifting. I love it.
Yeah.
So I just want to. I would love to be able to pull 650 at 200 pounds. So with me still being athletic looking and all great, but no, I still want to be able to do some pretty crazy, some pretty crazy feats of strength that, at least for me personally, not like I've never did powerlifting, but they're just things that with me transitioning and having a different mindset rather than, because I know I could pull 650 if I just did certain things. I know exactly how to do it, but I want to do it in a different mentality now, which is going to be a huge accomplishment for myself.
Yeah, I gotta go train back after this.
Nice.
But my dad is around like 240 right now, and he's closing in on deadlifting 700. He's like right there.
Yeah.
So
700 is a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Because when we first joined the gym that we're at now 5 years ago, he could barely deadlift 225, and like every year he's put on like 100 pounds in the deadlift. So it's crazy.
No way.
Yeah.
Bro, that's wild. That's wild. Pulling 700. I remember pulling 685. I think it was about 2.5 or 3 years ago. And I was having a blast doing it. And then I ended up trying to squat 685 as well. And then I tweaked my knee, and it all fell apart because I was like, oh, I can't do it. But now that I'm kind of doing this, I was like, deadlifts, not squats. I'm still going to squat, just not over 600 pounds. I want to deadlift. That's kind of where I'm at in my head. I haven't done any type of deadlifting program since then. So it'll be fun to be able to put something together here.
Now, Seth, we're approaching on the hour mark. I have 5 questions left. Do you want to stop here, or do you want to keep going?
Bro, you can take all the time you want, man. Let's go.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man.
So early on in your career, I know that you were signed to Blackstone Labs and Prime Nutrition and other things like that. When was it when you wanted to drop all that and make your own supplements and start your own clothing line?
So when I was a kid, I love supplements. I love them. I love lifting weights. I love exercising. I like it. It makes me feel better, because being that fat dude, Chubbs, like I just wanted to I wanted to feel good when I did it. That's why I have this connection with lifting weights and exercising. And then whenever I took supplements, it made exercising cooler. And I was like, yeah, like I like supplements. So whenever I was young, taking like Rip Fuel, like I think I was probably 16, 17, and Rip Fuel was there. Ultimate Orange was the pre-workout that like was hard to get because nobody knew what was in it back then.
My dad remembers that.
Yeah, it was wild. It was insane. But so back then I thought how cool it was. Like, Muscle Tech was a big deal. Twin Lab was a big deal. Pinnacle, those were huge. It was a huge company. And I was like, man, it'd be cool to own a supplement company one day. Metrex, EAS, like I thought it was cool, but I never was like, yeah, I'm going to own one. And then whenever I came back into the scene in 2016, I was with Blackstone Labs, and I knew PJ and Aaron at the time, and yeah, I knew it was very difficult to own a supplement company. I knew there was a ton of regulations, there was a ton of paperwork, a ton of BS, and but after seeing how people ran their companies, and then just me growing as an individual year to year to year from 2016 to now, I figured out that I was like, I think that I can do this because I didn't like being a sponsored athlete. I came out with my own clothing line because I wanted to own my own company and make my own money. And my dad, being a small business owner, he's 43 years now that he's owned a company. I grew up in that environment where I knew how much he sacrificed to make the company that he had. And that's whenever I was like, I'm just going to bet on myself. I'm going to invest my money into the shirts. I know that it's a cool idea because I had a good year of planning into it. And I had a good business plan in my head, not on paper, but I knew what I wanted to do and what I could accomplish with it. And I just believed in myself. And it was a little rocky in the beginning, but I wanted to make my own money. I didn't want to be a sponsored athlete. I wanted to provide myself, and not because the reason I thought like this and still think like this is because I got cut as an athlete whenever I was making really good money. I got cut. I lost a $50,000 contract overnight. Like just the next day, guys like, we don't need you anymore. So therefore, all of a sudden, I was making $50,000 from this company a year, and then it was gone. And I said, I never want to experience that again in my life. So that's why whenever I came back, I was like, I'm going to have my own job, and then I'm going to own my own company, and then I'm never going to be able to get cut from my company because it's my company. And then whenever I had the opportunity to start my own supplement line, I fully invested everything that I had. Bob and I, we had a lot of money in the bank. My two other business partners, Pat and Mike, they had some money in the bank as well. And we said that we were going to put all of our money into a pile and spend it all on a company and see if it worked. Really dumb idea. It's very stupid. But we were like, yeah, let's do it. It'll be cool. If it works, it's going to be awesome. And sure enough, it worked, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you just brought up that you just put everything out on the line. How honest were you if this whole thing didn't pan out for you?
So I've I realized that I am a risk taker. Hence, my lifestyle with the steroids early on in my life. Um, I, I I didn't know that. I thought I was like safe and conservative about things. I'm not. Mm-mm. I am a risk taker. I will put things if I will put it all on the line if I'm betting on myself, because I just know that I'm going to work so hard that most people will want to run away from me. I will become a person that is an absolute animal with it, and uh, I believe in myself, and I met three other guys, Bob, Pat, and Mike, that are the same mindset. We all are equal partners in the companies that we own, and we all have this mindset of working harder than everyone else to do something that is bigger than everyone else, and at the same time, just being a good dude.
Just real quick, I just want to say that we've been watching you for a while now. So, but when I was prepping for this interview, I had to go way back just to refresh on everything. And there was an episode of Rant and Raven where you were in the truck getting Dunkin' Donuts with the iced coffee with Bob. And that's the thing. I was like, I know that voice. That's Bob. And I never realized it before. And going back and seeing that
Yep.
he's with you since then was awesome. And I thought it was hilarious when the old lady said, "You guys don't look like iced coffee types."
Nope. Nope. But I mean, people have told me the shit I've done in my life is so stupid. whenever I started selling t-shirts, they're like, oh, you're going to start a t-shirt company. And I'm like, yeah, dude, fucking t-shirts, whatever. Say something stupid about that too. And then whenever I said I'm giving, I can't pay Bob any money. Bob's a 50% owner of everything I ever do in my life. Whatever I do, Bob's doing. Why? Because I can't do it without Bob. It won't be as great without Bob. And everybody's like, you're going to give him 50%? And I'm like, yeah, I don't have any money to give him. So we don't make any money right now. He has 50% of nothing. But if we ever do make it, he's going to make a lot of money one day. And it took us like 2 years to actually start making money. But now in the situation that we're in, that at that time, people were like, you're an idiot. You're dumb. And I'm like, okay, can I go fucking back to work and you leave me alone right now? And at that point, that's whenever I started realizing that I am a risk taker because everybody's saying this is stupid. I'm dumb. And I'm like, I think it's a good idea, but everybody else thinks it's dumb. So
were there ever any times where you were between you and Bob were like really stressed out between each other?
oh, Bob and I, no, I mean, whenever it comes to business, business is business because it's not about Bob and it's not about myself. It's about our customers and it's about our people. It's about the dream that we have of doing something incredible. So whenever there is something that he and I disagree about, we sit in the same room and say say our piece about it because we have to, because that's what happens in business. Because the business wasn't, it's not Bob and I. The business is you. The business is your dad. The business is every person that orders a supplement or a t-shirt or anything from us every single day. The business is bigger than just me. It's bigger than my business partners. It's bigger than what we ever thought it would be because it's about the people. So whenever there is a disagreement amongst us in any way, shape, or form, we sit down and hash it out like men because it's just we have to. But at the end of the day, we all know that we're doing something that is so unique that there are hundreds of thousands of people gravitating towards what we're doing every single day. And it's the greatest thing on the planet. So whatever we have in a disagreement, we nip it right in the butt right away together because it's not about us.
Yeah. Are you blown away by how your company is doing? Like, did you ever think that it would get to where it is today and where it's going tomorrow?
No. So I'll tell this on this. This is the first place you're ever going to hear this. So I told my business partners that if we ever do a certain dollar amount per year, I would get a tattoo of an axe and sledge on my ass. Well, I was like, yeah. I was like, we do that number. I was like, I'll get an axe and sledge on my ass. And this was before the company got launched. Okay. This is in like, I think May of 2018. And they were like, I was like, we do that number, tattoo on my ass. And they're like holding you to it. And I'm like, oh no. Like, you think we're going to do that number? And he's like, yeah, we're definitely going to hit that number. And I'm like, how long? Like maybe like 10 years? And he's like, yeah, might be like 5 or 7 years we get there. And I'm like, okay, all right. But you think we're going to? And he's like, yeah, we're going to. Well, year 2, we hit that number. And I was like, and at the end of the year, they're like, you're getting it. And I'm like, so like, I have to. So now I have to get a tattoo of an axe and sledge on my ass. And it is the amount of money that we've done as a business is absolutely incredible. And that's why I said that. And now that I have to get it, I'm like, man, I definitely should have dreamed bigger. But yeah, so this year they are holding me to it that I have to get a tattoo of an axe and sledge on my ass cheek. Yep.
Wow.
It's a very expensive tattoo. I'm proud to have it, actually. I don't have it yet. I'd show you if I did, though.
I just think it's absolutely ridiculous how stuff things sell out. Like there are times where like, oh, I want to get like one of your like sweatshirts or shirts and it's already gone. Like I've wanted a pump cover for so long. I don't have one yet. But it's either sold out or my dad has already got the same one and he's like, you can't have the same one as me. I'm like, come on.
I'll make sure you get some. What size are you?
Medium.
All right, you're getting one. I'll send you some.
Oh.
But no, Bro, what we do, I could, we order tens of thousands of units. I mean, for our last release, we had over 100,000 units for Black Friday. We had 100,000 units in our warehouse, and we were sold out of all of the we were sold out of all of the big items within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was the most astronomical thing I ever thought could ever happen. It's, people get excited about money. People, there's people that say, I see some of the bantering little bits online about, about a certain amount of money or anything like that, or like, oh, you're making big money now. I'm like, yes, that's great, but that's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to be a massive company. So I reinvest the money that I do make back into myself and my business so that we can do bigger and better things. And because I could take all the money and run right now, but what's that really doing? That's not doing cool shit. Like I want to do cool shit. Like I've been saying this whole time, we want to do something great. And but to say whenever you have a warehouse full of 100,000 units, um, the site is mind blowing. And then for them to sell out like they did, I sat there that day and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have to reevaluate how to order because if we sold this many units in this short period of time, we're way bigger than that, which is wild.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Like like you're talking about Black Friday, and every year, like, well, we can just go in the afternoon and we can buy some, and it'll be all fine. They'll still have some there. And then every year it was already sold out so fast. But this year we thought smart. We just sat at the computer waiting until the time. And my dad ordered first, and he was like, he got all the stuff, and he goes, "Well, hurry up, you pick out what you want." And I was like, "Can I have that pump cover?" He's like, "No, I already got it." "What about that shirt?" "I got that one too." And I was like, "Come on."
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're a limited All American Roughneck is a limited release company. We started out that way because we didn't have any money. We would take the money that we made from a release, reinvest it, double the size, and put it in inventory and continue to grow. Um, and that's why we were a limited release company. It just turned out to continue to compound, and right now we still hold it to that to some degree because it's exciting. We want people to be excited if they get something limited, they get something that nobody else has, like that hoodie. Like right now, we probably get a dozen emails a day for that hoodie that you have on right now, and we didn't bring it back for this next release. This next release, we have five five hoodies this release, and then soon after that, like 3 weeks after, we have another hoodie release as well. But there's no deadlifts and gummy bears hoodies involved in that whatsoever. Even though people are hounding us, and we could sell a ton right now, we're not doing it because that is an exclusive hoodie to Black Friday. So the next one that we do, it won't look like that. The next Deadlifts and Gummy Bears hoodie will be different than that one. And then, so whenever I see you in public, or I see you sitting here, or I see anybody wearing a specific item from a release, I know when you ordered. I know that you were there early. I know the year that you ordered it and all that. And I mean, we enjoy profiling our customers that way because that means that you're a big fan. That means that you were there on a huge release night that not many people got that hoodie.
Yeah. Uh, Moving on, did you ever think that you would get to this point in life where you're so well known for being an absolute savage in the gym and such a motivational person everyone knows? No?
No, no, dude. You talked about like who you look up to. I look up to my parents a whole lot. I love my dad. He's an asshole, but he is the hardest working dude I know. He is such a hard worker. He taught me so many good things. My parents are tremendous people. They are the hardest working people that I've ever met in my life. But and the whole entire time they put other people first. They put everybody else. They put their kids first. They put their customers first. They put so many people before themselves. And I never understood it as a young child. I didn't understand it as a teenager. And now that I'm a father myself of 3 kids and I have, 30 plus employees and we have 5 different companies, I completely understand their mentality. And whenever it comes push to shove and people know me as being jolly and I laugh and have a good time, there's a side of me that I will protect my people and I will stand up for them. I will go to the end for them because they do it every day for me. So being this like a savage in the gym, I just like working out, and I was like, I knew I like being intense,
Yeah.
and intensity is part of my personality, and I just apply it to everything I do in life.
What was it like when you first started making these videos? Did your family and friends think you were nuts?
So everybody knew I was nuts already. Bo- Bob was the one that he's like, people were making videos, and I'd see him, and I'm like I said, I'm super intense. If there was no videos of me truly in my heyday, like whenever I was an absolute fucking nutbag back in my early 20s, because we didn't have, you know, iPhones and things like that. Um, there was times whenever I was in the gym and just complete psychopath. And now that things have changed, and like whenever I saw people training, I'm like, man, I was like, they don't train that hard. And Bob's like, we're gonna make videos of you. And I'm like, what are we gonna do? Like, just put. He's like, you're just gonna work out, and I'm gonna make it look really cool. I'm like, okay, like you're gonna edit it to have cool angles and all this stuff, and put cool music to it, and then we'd sit there and pick out music. Um, and yeah, it kind of just it was Bob and I just sitting there thinking, let's do something that nobody else is doing, and I just would go nuts in the gym like I did every day. So yeah, I didn't think
What
things would happen this way.
when I first started watching you, it was like it had my like two favorite things. It had lifting weights, going crazy about working out, and then it had awesome music, and that's what really like attracted me to you. And then I saw that you did a lot of talks about like motivation and things like that, and that's what really like keeps me watching your videos because you've really changed us.
Absolutely, and the music. Whenever I was like, there's certain videos that have like they're just like 4 to 5 minutes long, and they have like mainstream music attached to them. I was like, whenever we started making videos, I told Bob, I was like, I want a video that I can watch right before I go into the gym that just gets me hyped. And he's like, okay. I'm like, just like 4 to 5 minutes, like quick video I can watch. And he's like, you're not going to talk. I'm like, nope. We're just going to put like Slipknot. We're going to put Slipknot on, and you're just going to show me training. And he's like, okay. We're not going to be able to make money on the video because we're using a mainstream song. It'll be demonetized and all that. And I'm like, I don't care. I was like, because people are going to love it. And sure enough, I was right for sure.
All right, Seth. I'm on my last question. I just want to say thank you once again for doing this. So, the last thing I'm going to ask is a question that I ask every single one of my guests that I have on the show, and this question is about moving forward in life. This question is for people like me who aren't the most popular kid at school, people like me who sit alone at lunch, and people but I think the people watching want to hear the answer to this question from you, someone who came from very little, going all the way to doing something they love in their career. So, Seth, my question is, what advice do you have for people that are stuck in life right now but want to do great things down the line?
Be yourself. I know it's cliche. I know it could be stupid, and however people want to look at it. If you just be yourself and continue to grow as a person and do everything that makes you feel alive from a positive perspective, you'll go on to do great things. I can speak because I had my balls busted when I was younger as well. I did feel super insecure about myself. I still have those moments personally, still at this age. I don't know why. Just be yourself. I'm never going to hide who I am. People can judge me for being a foul mouthed, short, 5'6", big nosed, troll looking person. They do it online all the time. I don't care. They're going to judge me no matter what I do, no matter what I say. So I'm just myself. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I'm a super personable guy. I love seeing people out in public. I love hanging out, getting to know new people. I'm goofy at times. I'm a dad, so I do dad corny dumb shit. And people online are like, "Man, that was so dad. You're so out of touch with trends today." And I'm like, I don't care. I'm having fun. So for everybody that, like you were saying, that is insecure about things or that feel like an outcast, you're young. Be yourself. Double down on your strengths. Don't be afraid to try new things, and don't be afraid to be yourself. Because if you aren't yourself, you're killing something inside of you that shouldn't be killed. It's unique. It's special. You're 15 years old, you're 13, you're 16, you're 18, you're 22. Be yourself and continue to grow. You're going to find out that there's going to be other people in life that do and like and some of the same things that you do. You just haven't met them yet. I didn't know many people that were into bodybuilding in high school. Mm-mm. Yet now I'm the centerpiece of a massive community that is some of the most motivational, intense people I've ever met in my life. So for anybody at a young age that's feeling insecure, like an outcast, sure, let's say that you are. You are an outcast. There's nothing wrong with that. You are different. There's nothing wrong with that. Be yourself and dream big. You know, who cares what anybody says about you? Do the work. You know, the work is the thing that everybody runs away from because it's hard. But if you just do it, keep your head down, do the work, you'll go on to do incredible things. I'm living proof of it, legitimately. And and that's enough for me to tell people that uh, don't ever stop being yourself, because I stopped being this guy before, and it's not cool. It wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my family. It wasn't good for my people. And even though there's a lot of people that say things about me today, even though I'm foul mouthed, I say some dumb stuff here and there. It's who I am. It's the environment that I grew up in, and whenever it comes to my people, I will make sure that I do as much good as I can as this person. And that's how everybody watching, that's how everybody should feel. Be yourself. Don't not.
Seth, I just want to say thank you for doing this interview. This means so much to me. You're a person I've been looking up to for a long time. You're the first ever YouTuber fitness guy I've ever started watching, and I never dreamed of having you on here, and it's just a dream come true.
Absolutely, man. This is great. Thanks for having me on. I'm pumped.
I also just want to give a thanks to Fuad for giving me this chance, because if it wasn't for him, I would have never interviewed you. So I want to say thank you once again. You have no idea how much you've impacted our lives for a change. So it's just crazy that I have you on here. We can finally talk, and it's really changed me. So I just want to say thank you.
You're very welcome, my friend. And you have an open invitation anytime that you come down to Pittsburgh. We'll give you the damn tour. We'll go do cool stuff. We'll train together in the gym. So anytime you and your family can make it down, we'll make it happen.
Awesome. I have a 4-day weekend this week. Just kidding.
We're there. I'm here.
Seth, thanks again for doing this.
Absolutely, man.
Well, there you have it, everyone. Another episode of 5 Questions with the Beast in the books. Today, we sat down with everyone's favorite IFBB pro, Seth Feroce. I still can't believe that I had this chance and opportunity. Once again, I want to give a big thanks to Fuad Abiyad for hooking me up with this interview for Seth. I still can't believe that Seth is going to be sending me clothing and he's letting me come to his gym to train with him. It still blows my mind that I'm able to do this, and I just want to thank everyone for this great opportunity. Before you all leave, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of these awesome interviews. With all that being said, I'm Will the Beast, and I'll catch you in the next episode of 5 Questions with the Beast.